Welcome everyone to the Pantheon. I'm your host Ray.
And I'm Abby.
And what are we looking at this week?
We are looking at Batman Returns.
That's right. The 1992 Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito movie. This movie, after the success of the first movie, there was a huge Hollywood who's who wanted to be in this film. Ultimately, it was DeVito and Pfeiffer, but like you probably heard of all the rumors of people who wanted to do this. Yeah. For example, Burgess Meredith, the original Penguin,
right,
was slated to play the father of Cobblepot, but he got sick, and so Pee Wee Herman took over. Paul Rubens.
Oh yeah.
And and Annette Bening was slated to be Catwoman initially, but she fell pregnant when they had Sean Young, and of course what happened was her, because she was aggressively going after the role, but she I think slipped a disc in her back, so she bowed out, and of course Michelle Pfeiffer took over. Those were the confirmed actresses and actresses who were confirmed to be on the role. There was about maybe 15 female Hollywood leading actresses who wanted to be Catwoman, and about 10 to 12 actors who were slated to be Penguin. Mm-hmm. So it was quite something. So what were your thoughts of the film?
I really liked it, actually. I thought it was well done. Mm-hmm. Nothing silly or stupid. In that you have to it wasn't very silly, and everything flowed. Mm-hmm. And everything made sense, and trying to get what they want doesn't matter. Two villains just trying to get by.
Okay. Yeah, well, my take on it was interesting because, when I haven't seen this film. Like, I first saw this in theaters, obviously, and then watched it again probably in the mid to late '90s. So you're looking at it's 30 years old, so it's been like 20. Ooh, yeah, it's been like 20. It's 30 years. It's a 30-year anniversary of the movie. So, so if you were around, you're over 30 years old now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's been at least 25 years since I've seen it. So for me, so I watched it again with clean eyes, and a couple of things popped up, things I didn't pick up on, I guess, were forgotten about, because I have a pretty vivid memory of the movie, like what's it about. I'd forgotten that Christopher Walken's in this film, and his name is Shrek, Max Shrek. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool. And also, like, the purpose behind, like, the whole, like, the dynamic of his character in the film and how it perpetuates this film. So if I'm just focusing on the stuff that I didn't know, was that because we have this clown mafia who pops up, and they pop up 3 times in this film, and each time is for a different reason. The first one is a plot device to get Penguin into the world, right? And how he meets Shrek, or Walken's character, and then when we first meet Shrek and Selena Kyle's character, it's together. He's having a meeting with the mayor. He's trying to push this idea for a power plant, and that's what he makes his dynasty based on it for his future. That he gave Gotham power, but in fact, it's like a device that's going to suck power from the city. Who knows how it works? Anyways, the whole point is the mayor and Bruce Wayne, being a businessman, says that we have enough power, a surplus of power and energy. We don't need to have an additional power plant being built. It may have jobs, but it causes more pollution. It's not economically sound or environmentally friendly. So his only roadblock is politically or through red tape is the mayor. So he gets the Penguin to be reelected to be the mayor, to get the mayor out the way, so he has someone in his pocket to do his bidding. And so the second time you see the clown posse, if you will, so they call it Red Triangle Gang, is to disrupt the credibility of the mayor, because he's trying to make Gotham clear up the streets and make them safe. And then with this Red Triangle Gang, it shows that he is inept. Meanwhile, Penguin controls the mob. Like, he's the mob boss. He owns all the clowns. And then the third time we see the clowns again, it's the Penguin releasing his own master plan onto Gotham. So those are the 3 things. 3 times we see them, and each time they have a purpose. The last thing was the whole point of the Batman, because you know Batman, as far as we all know, in terms of written comic books or some of the mythology, is that Batman doesn't really kill anybody. The only time we've seen him kill is when he does Zack Snyder verse of him shooting people or killing people. And actually, it was in Tim Burton's version. He actually was a murderer. Like he actually was starting to kill all these clowns. Like there's a scene where he turns the Batmobile around and uses the engine to burn up the guy who was a flamethrower. And then he put like a dynamite on the guy, one clown, and knocked him down a hole, and he blew up. So it was quite violent in terms of the visual necessity of it. Now, in comparing this to the darkness of, let's say, Christopher Nolan or the new one with Robert Pattinson, it's not as dark. This seems quite tame in comparison to the new Batman of today. You know, but I guess the only reference we had back then was the Adam West or the serials of the 50s or the early 40s that you and I reviewed not too long ago. You know, so this was a much darker version. So
for sure.
So this was noir. So for everyone who's watching it now, this is why I think Keaton is such a well-known and respected actor in terms of, like, when you think of Batman, Keaton's Batman is like the most recognizable or the most go-to person, more so than the Christian Bale version or anyone else. Like even Christian Bale will say his go-to Batman would be Michael Keaton, you know. And of course he's reprising his role at the age of 70, you know, playing Bruce Wayne Batman in the new Flash movie. So, you know, that's something else. So I'm quite impressed with that. Pros and cons. Any good points or bad points you have about this film?
Film, well done. It flows. It's great. That's all I can say.
They say it's called a psychotic fit she has in her apartment building.
Oh yeah.
Is that a correct analysis in your opinion? Like, what happens to her when she like wigs out in her unit?
She could maybe, it's called like a psychotic break, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like, so that's what it's called, kinda.
Okay.
Oh, exactly the name, but that's what.
Yeah, because she's because in an interview with Tim Burton, he said like it's not when she becomes Catwoman, it's not a supernatural event. It's because she basically she's a person who had latent like violent tendencies, and this accident kind of allowed her to free in that psychotic break. So she like people like authority like Batman or the police or her boss always pushed her down, and she had to basically bow down to these people. And this break allowed her just to release all of that, you know, let it out, and she just ran with it. So I thought that was interesting too. And what the thing that I picked up on this go round, which was really surprising, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised, because his love interest in the first one was Vicky Vale, blonde, but sort of like a strong woman, and Catwoman is another blonde, but like a very, very strong person too. Like the profile of that he's attracted to is someone who doesn't need to be saved, someone who's very, very strong, equal or if not stronger than him on an emotional level. That's what draws him to her. So, I thought that was really interesting. It kind of gives you an idea of what he likes personally, you know, which is something they don't really explore in any other film in terms of romance, you know.
It was sad because the Penguin got mad for something he didn't do, like with his birth, you know, like, you know, same thing like 300, like that, you know, the movie 300. There he wants to be like accepted, but he's not being accepted, you know, just like Penguin. Anyway, I was sad about that. You know, it was a good movie, but still I liked the Penguin.
Okay. When you say he, you mean the Prince of Persia or the king of the Spartans?
Yeah, the second one.
Oh, the King of Spartans?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, I'm Ray.
And I'm Abby.
We'll talk to you next time. Take care.
Bye now.